Yes, listen students. So the next topic is quantity theories of money. So in the previous class we saw the functions of money. Now the quantity of theories of money by two economists, namely Fisher's theory and the other one is Cambridge cash balance theory. First of all, we will see about quantities theories of money, that is in page number 82. So quantity of theory explains about the relationship between the quantity of money and the value of money. Quantity of theory explains about the relationship between the quantity of money and the value of money. There are two approaches of quantity theories of money. There are two approaches, namely Fisher's transactions approach. Second one, Cambridge cash balance approach. There are two approaches of the quantity of theories of money. Number one, explained by Fisher's transaction approach, and the second one is Cambridge cash balance approach. Two approaches. First of all, Fisher's theory. Fisher's theory was an old theory which was propounded by Devan Shetty, who is an Italian economist in the year 1588. The Fisher's theory was a very old theory. Initially, it was propounded by Devan Shetty, who was an Italian economist, propounded in the year 1588. Then later it was popularized by Irving Fisher, who was an American economist in the year 1911. So you remember the name of the economist. Devan Shetty is an Italian economist, propounded in the year 1588. It was popularized by Irving Fisher, who was an American economist in the year 1911. Then this theory was popularly known as quantity theories of money, or quantity theories of equation of exchange. So this is the introduction about the quantity theories of money. Then Fisher's equation. Fisher's equation is MB equal to PT. MB equal to PT. M refers to money supply. V equal to velocity of money. P equal to price level. T equal to volume of transaction or volume of trade. So this is an equation of Fisher's theory. MB equal to PT. M refers to money supply. P equal to velocity of money. P equal to price level, and T refers to volume of transaction. So according to Fisher's equation or Fisher's theories of transaction approach, the total quantity of money, that is MB, equal to total value of goods and services that are prevailing in the society. According to Irving Fisher, the total quantity of money that are circulated in the society equal to the total value of goods and services available to consumer in the society, which refers to money, supply of money equal to demand for money. Supply of money equal to demand for money. And this equation is only for the currency money. That equation, that is supply of money equal to demand for money, is equation only for the currency of money. And other things also be there in the modern economics, not only of cash currency, and other deposits also be there. So that also taken to consideration by Irving Fisher. So in the modern economics, bank deposit and the credit creation by the bank is playing a vital role in the business. So bank deposit and and creation of credit by the bank also playing an important role in the business in modern economics. So the Fisher extended his approach to bank deposit, which include bank deposits and the velocity also. So M1 equal to bank deposit and V1 equal to velocity of money. So the revised equation of Fisher's transaction approach, that is PT equal to MV plus M1 plus V1. This is the extended area of Fisher transaction approach. So previously it was MV equal to PT, that's all. MV equal to PT. That means money supply, velocity of money, volume of transaction, price level. But does not consider about the bank deposit and the credit creation by the bankers. After that, Fisher extended his area of approach to like this: MPT equal to MV plus M1 and V1. Here also another equation: P equal to MV plus M1 V1 divided by T. P equal to MV plus M1 into V1 divided by T. Here M equal to quantity of money in circulation. M equal to money in circulation. Quantity of money in circulation. V equal to velocity of money in circulation. Velocity. And M1 equal to volume of bank credit. And V1 equal to velocity of circulation of credit. And finally, T equal to volume of trade. So you compare, you see the comparison between the previous equation and the latest equation around the modern economics. P equal to MV plus M1 into V1 divided by T. So including of bank credit and the velocity of circulation of credit is also taken to consideration by the Fisher equation or Fisher. Then this theory is explained with two diagrams. So one is the relationship between the quantity of money and the price of the commodities. So there are two diagrams. Number one diagram explains about the relationship between the quantity of money and the price of the commodities or the price of money. Then second one, quantity of money and the value of money. So second diagram explains about the quantity of money and the volume of money. The previous one is quantity of money and the price of the money. So in the first diagram, OX axis mentioned about the quantity of money. OY axis refers to the price of the money. OX axis quantity of money, OX axis price of the money. Here, when the quantity of money is at M1 level, the price of the money also in P1 level. So OM1 equal to OP1. Then the quantity of money increases from M1 to M2. That is the double the amount of quantity of money. And the price of the money also double. That is P2. So M2 level of money and the P2 level of price of money. Again, the M2 level of money, quantity of money extended or increased to M4, and the price of the money also increases to P4. So OM1 equal to OP1, OM2 equal to OP2, OM4 equal to OP4. So there is a direct relationship between the quantity of money and the price of the money. Quantity of money and the price of money. So it is connected with the one linear named as P equal to F into M. OP, this OP equal to F into M. There is a direct relationship between the quantity of money as well as the price of the money. OP equal to F into M. This is the 45-degree linear one. So do you understand this one? So the quantity of money increases with the price of the money. And the second diagram is explaining about the relationship between the quantity of money and the value of money. Quantity of money and the value of money. So OX axis refers to the quantity of money, OY axis refers to value of money. OX axis refers to quantity of money, OY axis refers to value of money. When the quantity of money at OM1 and the value of money equal to OP1, that is increased to OP1. Then the quantity of money increased to OM2 level, and automatically the price of the value of the money comes down to OP2 level. Value of quantity of money increased from OM1 to OM2, and the value of money comes down from P1 to P2. And again, the quantity of money increases from OM2 to OM4. Then again, the price comes down, the value of money comes down to OP4. So what you understood from this diagram is, so the quantity of money increased goes on increasing, and the value of money comes down. So it is inverse relationship. So it is an inverse relationship between the quantity of money and the value of money. When the quantity of money is less, the value of money is at a higher level. When the quantity of money goes on increasing, and the value of money comes down, that is declined. So it is an inverse relationship between the quantity of money and the value of money. Do you understand? So OM1 equal to OP1, OM2 equal to OP2, and OM4 equal to OP4. So there is an inverse relationship between the quantity of money and the value of money, and this is explained with the IP equal to F into M. So another linear, OP curve explain about the inverse relationship. So we understand these two diagrams. The first one is the diagram which is explaining about the quantity of money and the price of the money. So there is a direct relationship when the quantity of money increase and the price of the money also increased. Then again the value of money, quantity of money increasing, it is further increasing in the price level also. So there is a direct relationship between the quantity of money and the price of money. The second diagram which explains the relationship between the quantity of money and the value of money. When the quantity of money goes on increasing and the value of money bringing down, that is comes down. So it is an inverse relationship between the quantity and the value of money. So this is the Fisher's equation approach. So in the quantity of theories of money, there are two approaches. Number one, Fisher's transaction approach. Number two, Cambridge cash balance approach. Just now we have completed only the first one, Fisher's transaction approach. Fisher's transaction approach. Here is an introduction about the Fisher's transaction approach. It was initially propounded by Dharan Shetty, who is an Italian economist in the year 1588, and it was popularized by Irving Fisher, who was an American economist in the year 1911. The theory is known as quantity theories of money or equation of exchange. Then Fisher's equation, the previous equation is MV equal to PT, but not before taking into consideration of bank deposit and the creation of credit. So after taking into these two things, that is bank deposit and the credit creation by the bank, and the equation are revised by the Fisher, namely like this: PT equal to MB plus M1 B1 and P equal to MB plus MB1 into B1 divided by T. And there is a two diagrams. It's a very important question. So quantity theories of Fisher's approach, very important. This is the relationship between quantity of money and the price of money, quantity of money and the value of money. So it is very important question. So you have to write all these things while asking in 5-mark question. So next class we will see about the second approach, Cambridge cash balance approach. Thank you.